All right, howdy folks. Welcome to part 2 of talking about Instagram for home inspectors. Yesterday we talked about kind of the ways that we can immediately identify whether a page is crushing it or if they're sucking. And so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But now we're about to dive into the 2 key metrics that we look for when kind of diagnosing the health of your Instagram profile. And if your numbers are suffering, then how can we boost them up? So without further ado, let us dive in. Okay, so your first metric is going to be, we're talking about engagement rate here. So engagement rate is the percentage of your followers that engage with a given post, which engagement is just gonna be like likes or comments. What's kind of average is the 1 to 3% range. If you're really crushing it, you're gonna be seeing numbers like 3 to 6%. If you're seeing below 1%, then that's bad. You're not doing good. In fact, to an extent, we would almost argue that it's better to not be on Instagram at all, because what you're doing there is you're obviously posting boring content that's not resonating with your audience, and you're training them to tune out your brand. Like as they're scrolling through, they see your name and they scroll right past without giving it a second thought, which subconsciously is training them to, when they come across your brand anywhere else, tune you out. You're boring, you're not delivering value, yada, yada, yada. So don't buy into the BS that, hey, you just need to be posting. Who cares if it's crappy? Just get it out there. For instance, if you're one of the companies, which sorry, I don't mean to ruffle any feathers here, but someone's got to say it. If you're just posting a bunch of pictures of homes that you inspected with big old text on the screen saying inspected, like just stop. Like if that's all you're doing, then get off Instagram or actually commit to creating real content. Now, obviously, you're going to have the occasional post that falls flat and it's going to get sub 1% engagement rates. And don't freak out. That's totally normal. If you're doing it right, you're going to try some new stuff every now and then, and maybe it just doesn't quite resonate with your audience. And that's okay. Dissect that post. Why do we think this fell flat? What can we learn from it? How can we not do that again? Same on the opposite side. If you get a post that gets like 6 or 7% engagement rate, don't just be like, woo, we're finally like being successful on Instagram. Like, no, that realistically, there's something about that specific post that was just digging deep into the hearts of your audience. And so take a moment, slow down, break that post down, dissect it, figure out why did people like this so much and how can we carry that factor into our other videos so we can just up engagement rate on everything we do. Okay, so let's talk about a few ways that we can boost this engagement rate. So maybe you're at the 1% mark, really struggling, and you're trying to get closer to 3%. Or hell, maybe you're getting 5% engagement rate. Still better to get 6. We can always improve. Likely though, if you're already at the 5% engagement rate, you're already doing these things. So this is probably more applicable to the folks who are stuck in that kind of average 1 to 3% range. Which, by the way, the average range is not really a good range because you have so many people out there posting crap that are bringing that average down. So don't get comfy in that range. You should be striving to get to that 3 to 6% benchmark. So let's talk about how can we get there. The first thing you can do is post more videos. I'm not at all saying never post a still again. Stills have their place, but you should be doing both and really building more of your foundation on video if you want to get that engagement, which I'll tell you right now, you want to get that engagement. And for those of you who are like, hey, this guy's just biased, he does video stuff, he's probably completely just pulling inside his butt. No, I'm not. Here's a stat for you. Videos get 1,200% more shares than text and images combined. So boom. Numbers don't lie. You can take that to the bank. So now that you're creating videos, you need to make sure to open your video with something extremely gripping and stimulating that's going to stop people from scrolling. You got to come out of the gates hot. How exactly can we do that? We can show something super interesting. So if you're in a home talking about some crazy defect, start off with showing some like shocking defect where people are scrolling through and they see, I don't know, like rust running down a wall or something crazy. We're like, whoa. What the hell? Another thing you do is just start off with some like intense movement. So even if it's something like, I mean, this is a boring shot. I'm just sitting in my office. There's nothing going on. But starting a video with, hey guys, welcome back, which I actually think is how I started this video. So guilty. But instead of doing that, you could just start off with like doing this, like, What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're talking about, and that is going to break them out of their little scrolling trance that they're in and give you a few seconds to see if you're actually talking about something that they're interested in or not. Another thing to think about, which actually a lot of you home inspectors actually do this already, starting off with at least your few seconds of your video having text on screen, specifically like captions of whatever you're saying. Most time when people are scrolling through Instagram, they're going to have it muted. And so they probably won't hear the first few things you say. So you need those captions popping up. And if it's something that's going to resonate with them, then they'll unmute you and actually watch the rest of your video. So I recommend having the first 3 to 6 seconds, leave captions on for Instagram, and then you can turn it off after that, because if they're not listening by then, they're probably not going to listen at all. Anywho, moving on to our third and final thing that you can do to boost engagement rates is post relevant content. So you've got videos, that's great. You're getting their attention for a few seconds now, awesome. But at the end of these 3 seconds, they're gonna decide, hey, is this relevant to me, or is this for another audience? Or is this just something that I'm not interested in straight up? And if they don't think it's relevant to them, they're gonna keep on scrolling to find something that is worth their time. So you now need to establish, hey, this is the subject we're talking about. This is why you're interested in it. Stick around. What exactly are things that you should or shouldn't talk about? Well, you gotta think about the context of where you are. You're not on your website, so most likely people aren't interested in wanting to know too much about your company, really, honestly. So unless it's in a relational way that's connecting to your audience in some way by maybe sharing some kind of really personal story that just connects on a human level, don't waste your time just providing basically a sales pitch for your company. People are going to keep on scrolling if you're like, hey, we're better than our competition because this, unless you can frame it in an interesting way, like, hey, you want to hear a stupid, ridiculous guarantee that we offer that you're going to love? Someone's going to stick around for that. Even though you're still hyping yourself up, there's enough kind of entertainment value there. So don't just talk about yourself. Another thing that people don't care about at all is when you say, hey, inspected this great home today. Thanks for trusting us. And yeah, see y'all later. I'm not going to get too excited about you just telling me that you inspected a home today. You're a home inspector. I'm going to assume you're inspecting a home every single day. Tell me why this home was interesting, or tell me an interesting thing that you found at this home, or tell me something that was at this home that's commonly at a lot of homes that I should be looking for. It needs to be entertaining, educational, or both. If it doesn't have one or both of those factors, then you're dropping the ball. I don't know how else to say it. And you're just not going to get people to stick through a whole video. And if they do, they're going to be disappointed and they're not going to watch your next video. So you got to entertain your audience, you got to educate them, or you got to do both. Ideally, you're doing both with everything you do. And I will be damned. This video went on a long time too. I was planning on this being a 1-part thing, turned into 2 parts. Now we're looking at 3 parts. So I'll actually be back tomorrow talking about the second metric that you need to be looking at, and how, if that number is lacking for you, how you can boost it. And I promise this will actually be the last one this time. We're doing it tomorrow. We're closing this out, and y'all are all gonna be freaking masters of Instagram by the end. So yeah, see y'all tomorrow.